Hello everyone, and welcome to another Let's Build with Mods segment, only this time I am bringing you a decorations video. I realized that I kind of Tarantino'd these videos where I uploaded the tour of the finished products first, and now I'm going back and showing you how I did it. I didn't really plan for that, but I couldn't get this video out in time, so here we are. So getting right into it, when I first start, I like to place down a large rug or some kind of wall just to break up the room into different corners to work with. So since this room's already kind of small, I'm just going to place down this large rug and start connecting different living room items to it. That way, once they're kind of touching it some way, I can select the rug and then essentially rug glitch these items closer to the wall. So now I'm going to add in the TV and just make sure this is lining up where I want it. And yeah, and it does. Okay, so now I'm going to place the rest of the furniture around it. So you will see a lot of new items that I used because I am using a few mods, and I can't remember the name of them, but I will put them in the description so that way you know what I'm using. But there are so many items, it's insane. Like you have Institute items, Vault, Pre-War, all kinds of stuff that I probably won't use just because they're, like I said before, they're too clean. They don't really go with, you know, the environment and like what we're building. But like those Coke bottles right there look pretty awesome. I'm sorry, Nuka-Cola bottles. Sorry. And they just work so well with, you know, making these tables look like they're being used. So yeah, now I'm just going to place or make a few adjustments here with this little corner. Give us some more room for the settlers to, you know, come in and sit. And there we go. So now, this is my favorite mod. It's the Do-It-Yourself. You see what they did there? The Do-It-Yourself, they give you these shelves that you can place all these preset items on. It's fantastic. I'll show you in just a little bit. The cooking stove and the refrigerators, like all of those, are a different mod. Obviously, because they are not shelves. But I think I'm using like 2 or 3 in total. I'm not sure. I'll place it again in the description for you. But these refrigerators are a lot like the Nuka-Cola machines. Like you can't place them so close to the wall without them being a bitch. So you kind of have to rug glitch them together. And I realize that I'm using a clean refrigerator. Look how clean that is. And I'm like, well, son of a bitch. Let me just do that all over again with a dirty refrigerator. But at least you have the option if you want a clean one or if you want a dirty one. Your choice. Alright, let's pick it up. Here we go. Alright. And now for my favorite part. So, filling in these shelves. I mean, you have books, you have ammo, you have food, you have kitchen items, medical items, all kinds of stuff that you can use, and they just clip right on into it. And it's fantastic because before, that shelf was a pain in my ass. Trying to decorate that with junk and just barely squeezing stuff in on the first shelf. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that, if you cannot tell. Yeah, and this part, that fucking kitchen table. So the trick is making, you know, putting all this stuff here and making it not look so cluttered. And that's why I cut that part out, because it was 10 minutes of me just going back and forth trying to get that table in the perfect spot. And I think I did. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Not too cluttered, but also it kind of fills out the room. You're going to see me go through this menu so many times because they place all of the new mods in, I think, like 1 or 2 different menus. So it's just going through all this shit just to find one little piece. And yeah, there's the stereo, which is just looks so good. And for some reason, I decide to hang a painting just randomly. I guess I was done decorating the room and just wanted to put something on the wall. I don't know. Blame it on my OCD or ADD or one of those. Maybe both. But anyway, yes, back to building. So you might think that I'm just throwing shit into these shelves, but I'm really thinking of what would they put in here. So like I just did decorations on top, and I did some medical supplies on the bottom so they're easy to get to. Little things like that I try to be mindful of. And now I think I'm going to put a plant off to the side. I don't use a lot of the plants, I just use like these smaller ones here because the other ones are just, they're too large. They clip through the walls and they look nice, but they can just be, you know, a bit of a pain. And here I am looking through all this shit for the trash can, and I realize I went the wrong way. So I gotta go all the way back to find the trash can. Keep going, and there it is. And see, that was double the speed for how long it actually took me to do that. Just a lot of back and forth, and you see how I'm spinning it around, because even though I'm not moving it, if I just spin it certain angles, it will fit. I don't know. A lot of items do that. But now I'm going to place a generator in this room. I'm not sure if you saw where I was, but you'll see in a second. Just to give you guys some light, because I noticed that it was a little too dark. So yeah, placing this huge generator. They conveniently made it so large that you can't fit it inside of just like a normal room. So you can't have this one on the inside, but I find a way. I'm not going to use a million of the other ones anymore. This is just the best thing that they could have given us for power. They, meaning Bethesda, for those of you who were wondering who I was talking about. Okay, so yeah, I'm just placing all this stuff. There's no creativity here. It's just placing down conduits to make sure I got power going everywhere. And I'm placing them here because I don't know if you noticed, but the wall on the inside doesn't meet the roof. So we have a little bit of a gap, which kind of works out to our advantage because now I can get power on the outside. You'll see a little bit of a gap. Wait for it. See? But it works out. You wouldn't have noticed if I wouldn't have pointed it out to you. And there we go. There we go. Alright. So what am I going to do now? Wall decorations? No, I'm going to add in some lighting. So you can see what I'm doing. That might be nice. There we go. Alright. And let's head upstairs to decorate the bedroom. Okay, so the large rug. See, I'm using that same technique every time I'm in an empty room. I'm like, okay, let's put a rug down or just some big item. That way I know where I'm going to put stuff. So I'm placing the bed there, and I'm using the same technique as downstairs, just using the rug to squeeze this into this corner over here. Because you notice how that roof is at a weird angle, so the bed and this table doesn't want to go. But if you get close enough to it, you can place items where you want them to, even if they're acting like they don't want to. Like this. See, it's not wanting to go all the way in, but if I just place it on the outside, get a little bit closer, and then I can just push it a little bit further in the way that I want. Little things like that help you a good bit whenever you're trying to squeeze items into just weird corners or weird angles. And this bed was, just a pain in my ass, man. You'll see. You'll see. So it's slightly askew, right? Which I should have just left it alone, but I'm like, nope, I gotta fix it. Let's get that out of the way. Nope. I just wanna turn it. I just wanna turn it like an inch. But it's just like, no. Nope. See, still not happening. Still off. And there it is. That's all I wanted to do, was just move it over an inch. That probably didn't seem too bad for you, but again, this video is sped up double the speed, so that's why I have a little animosity left over. But anyway, okay. So now I'm just going to decorate the end tables, and that's little things like that really bring your, settlements to life. Is whenever you add in, like these bottles, you have lamps, these oil lamps, different things like that, candles, just kind of making it look as though it's been lived in. And same thing as far as setting up all of these different, containers, your desk. I mean, just think about where, if you lived here, where would you have this stuff, and why would you have it? It's just little things like that to kind of keep in mind as you're building. And so this is a new desk from one of the mods. It looks about like the other one, but it's slightly different, so I'm just going to use that. Doesn't really matter. And then, okay, nope, that's not going to fit there. Come on, cord. And this cool little duffel bag, or like a, yeah, it looks really cool if it squeezes underneath the bed. And then a locker. Which I think I get rid of that. I do. Yeah, I do. Spoilers for later on in the video, I get rid of that locker right there. And then another one of these shelves. I don't really use the books because they look too clean. But like, I think it's cool to have a bunch of like clothing and different things like that. Just use as kind of like a dresser almost, but it's a shelf. And yeah, let's put some toys down there for the kids. And some tools. Yeah, that works. Didn't really think that one through. Okay. And put in a, I like using the red chairs because it adds a little bit of color. That looks good. Oh, and then look at this. They gave us some terminals for your desk finally. So now I don't have to use the little TV to make it look like a computer. I think it's a gaming terminal. So yeah, you can load in your holotapes to it, which is pretty fucking awesome. I will never do it, but it's cool to know that I can. Okay, so now we need to add something to the right of this desk to make it look a little more filled in. And plants work pretty good. You can even add in like a smaller table and with the radio on top of it. Or like an ashtray, trash can, stuff like that really helps out. And you see, I want to put the radio on top of this shelf, but it wasn't wanting to go, so I pulled the shelf out, put the radio on top, and then whenever you select the shelf, the game only recognizes the shelf, so you can kind of squeeze it in back to where it was. Now you have a radio on top. And I left the me kind of redoing a few of these things because that's really what decoration is. It's kind of adding in the big pieces like the shelves, the beds, containers, stuff like that. And then once you start adding in the little details, you kind of have to redo it sometimes because that happens to me a lot. It's like, okay, well now I want to put in this radio. And now let me pull the shelf out, put it on top, and then just redo it. It's that's why it takes so long for me to decorate. It's because it's a lot of times it's just me redoing or having a different idea as it's starting to come together. Like, this will look better over here, different things like that. And that's why you don't see me decorate the other side of this building, because it would have been like a 3-4 hour long video. But so this is looking pretty good. I'm going to change the oil lamp out for the actual lamp because you notice how it's a little too dark over here, even with the oil lamp. And you just kind of want to have the lighting balanced. You don't want it to be too heavy on one side of the room, unless you're just trying to emphasize something. But usually, just a room like this, you kind of want lighting spread out. And you see, I removed the locker. See, I wasn't lying to you. But something cooler is going to go here. Cooler. Yeah, so I was looking for this one item, and it took forever to find it, and then there it is. It's just this vault crate. I thought it looked pretty cool, but I couldn't find it, so I just cut out the video. So you're not seeing me go back and forth trying to find that piece. And I needed to move the duffel bag for some reason. Can't explain why. But now I'm going to start placing in all the little filler items. Like wooden crates at the end of the bed, and oh, there's like a med kit that I'm going to place on the desk. There it is. And let's see, just kind of filling in little gaps in the room. So like right there, putting that safe, and maybe something in this corner like the trunk right here, just to kind of, fill in those gaps. And see, I want this trunk to be behind that line, so I'm just kind of picking it up a different way and then forcing it in, like so. And I think I'm going to move, let's put this crate down. And I moved the plant over to this corner just because it's going to help with like the flow of it, I guess. It's not just like a shelf and then a trunk. You kind of have little things in between. I probably sound ridiculous, but it's my own little method. And then put this up here. That'd be kind of cool. And you see, I want it on both sides, but the radio is blocking it. So of course, all that hard work for the radio is now ruined. I tried putting it back up there, but I just say, fuck it, I'm not going to pull that shelf out again and do that all over, so we're just not going to have a radio. And so now I need something back over here. So the trash can works, just little things. And then up here is a perfect spot to hang up some like buoys. Or yeah, let's hang up some buoys. Nope. That one's okay. But I'm stubborn and I want these to hang up, but it's just not going to happen. Eventually I'll go back to the other ones. Yep, those are not going to work. Not those, not... maybe that one, but I think this one looks better. Little fuckery here. Get up there. There we go. It's fine. Right there. Okay. So now we're going to hang up some more wall hangings, but I think I will decorate the downstairs first because of my ADD. So these posters that we have, these are pretty cool. We have there's so many in there. I mean, it's tons of them. But some of them will actually clip inside the wall, so they look, they're a little bit glitchy. But like these are fine. They'll sit on top like so. But with the posters, you don't want to have too many. It's just with anything. You want to have a nice variety, and then you kind of want to blend everything together. So I'm going to place a few of these up. Some ones that are clean, some that are kind of messed up like that one. And then let's go back to some of the original signs like that and one of these. And it's just a good combination of everything to make it look a little more realistic. Oh, and there's a locker again. See, it looks much better in this corner. Fills in that little hole in the decorations. And over here I'm going to place a mounted creature, because if I put another poster there, it would have been the same shape throughout the wall. It's just, changing it up. And that looks good. And so now we have a mod for like a lunchbox. I might put that on here with some bottles, just to make that look a little lived in. There we are. And of course, once we have the mods, they release the Contraptions DLC where we have some posters and all that, which I might use those. I might uninstall these mods and use the ones that came with the game, just because they're a little more stable, and I just like using the official content given to us by Bethesda. But in the meantime, I'm going to have a good mixture of the actual decoration, like the modded decorations and everything. And we're going to place one of these posters up, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. There it is, glitching inside the wall. Don't really like that too much, but depending on the angle, it will actually sit on top of it, but I'm not going to try. So let's just place one of these that I know will sit on top. There we go, and then start decorating the shop out here. I think I'm going to do... let's see. Try and get the visual. So the shop is going to be right in the middle right here. So I'm going to go ahead and place like the different shelves and just everything on the wall before I put the shop in, because the shop's a little large and you kind of have to glitch it in. So it's going to be easier to decorate the wall first and then do that last. So this is just the do-it-yourself again, and I'm just placing in these little items. Let's do components maybe? Yeah. And then decorations. Doesn't really matter. Alright, here's some light for you guys so you can see what the hell I'm doing. There we go. And I always use these, and okay. Let's put an open sign down here. I'm putting it down a little bit lower because there's a sign that I wanted to put above it. So let's fix the weather, shall we? Since it's starting to look pretty shitty. And I love it. Look at that. So quick. Okay. So I got the idea for this shop again from Diamond City, which I loved how it's like the outside is where the shop was, and then through the door is where they lived. So that's kind of where I got the concept from. The thing with these signs mod that we have, there's so many to choose from, and I've seen one before, so I'm trying to find where it was. It said something like, it's like a smaller sign that said protected by the Minutemen or something. So I'm trying to go back and find it, but that's the problem. It's just so fucking many, and I can't keep track of where everything is, so it's just a lot of just back and forth trying to find it. But in the meantime, I think I'll just start putting up stuff that I know, like this one. I know I want that up there. See, it's glitching, but there we go. Just keep messing with it and it's fine. It's a little annoying. Where is that sign? Is it back this way? I mean, it's really small and doesn't really matter. Oh, here it is. But it looks pretty cool, right? I mean, it's very fitting and totally worth it. And now let's just put one of these here. Sure. Okay. I think I'm going to place the shop in now. I'm just going to do the rug glitch to get the shop in there. Really, it's just kind of placing a rug down and then putting the shop on top of it. It's nothing too crazy. And I'm going to keep the rug so it makes it kind of easy as far as placing this down. Let's get a little bit closer. Get lined up. There we go. And see, the roof is sticking through the sign a little bit, so I'm going to fix that. But I like making sure that I can squeeze behind the shop. That way I know that my settler will be able to as well. Yes, just move that out of the way, and then see, I'm just turning that way the sign on the top of the shop won't glitch through the floor. And there we go. And I can squeeze in. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to put up some of these shelves, and the Do-It-Yourself mod has completely changed the way that I decorate my shops, because now I can just use these and fill them up with stuff and it doesn't look so empty. And they even snap together, which is pretty cool. I'm using a large and a small one just to add in character, because I have that window there, and I just didn't want to block it off with the same thing side by side. It's just trying to make it look a little more realistic. And just filling in this, sure. Some clothes, some ammo, sure. Yeah, let's put this up there. It's really easy to make these shops look believable now, because since we can fill in these shelves, it looks like these items are for sale. And it's just, before I would have like closed off containers and maybe a shelf, but I could only fill up the top row. Little things like that, but now this just, I'm so excited for how cool this looks and how easy it is to decorate. See, I think I want to change this with, since I've used a lot of these, I'm going to go to the half part and then just kind of put two of these up that I think look pretty cool. And yeah, why not? Okay. And then something right here in that little corner, just because it's kind of empty, so I can just put like a box or something, stack them on top of each other. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use that, so let's put that to the side, and then let's get my crate. There we go. And just kind of get that pretty close. Stack this on top of it. A little ammo box. Another ammo box. And then this ammo box. And just kind of right there. And it just fills in that little spot, so it's just not empty. And it is nearly done. Let's put some of these signs up here, like an employees only sign, because he doesn't want people going into his shit. Let's put one of these up first. Prizes. And I love putting one of these signs over here, especially the sale sign. It just fits perfectly. Alright, now the employees only. Yeah. Being a little bitch, aren't ya? There you go. You know what would help a lot? A door. Here we go. The finishing touch. Okay, so now we need some lights on the outside. And you can use whichever ones you want. I like these for the outside. They look a little more durable, I guess. And now we're going to put a sign right there. Cat's paw. This one's called Junk in... oh, these are pretty cool. Yeah, I can see I can use these for labeling. Let me just get this out of the way. That way I can center that more on the window. There we go. And, okay. Cool. Yeah, so Junk in a Box, I think, is the name of the shop. There it is. Nice. Okay. Now I'm going to power up that open sign. I hope this video has been helpful and not too boring. I don't know, it feels like it's just me kind of going back and forth doing the same thing. But some people can struggle with decorating. So hopefully this has shown you a few techniques and really just different ways of looking at your buildings and your settlements. You'll notice that I went ahead and decorated the right side because that took like an hour and I did not want to post it on this video. But if you go back to the settlement tour of this building, you'll see that the right side is designed just like the left side. I just decorated it completely differently, and I did that so you guys can see even with a small room like that, you can decorate it so many different ways and still have your building look realistic and, you know, kind of unique. So just keep that in mind as you're watching that video. And in here, I'm just decorating a restaurant pub area. So those menus look pretty awesome back there, and of course this is clipping through the wall. So I might just put some shelves right here, because the bar is going to go in this area. So put some shelves up, and place some bottles on there. Which I would do the same thing if I didn't have the mods, but the mods just make it so much easier. Because you can place bottles and stuff like that up there, it just takes so much longer. And yeah, I'm going to use a lot of these shelves in here, just to make it look kind of like a buffet type place. And instead of having cabinets, we're just going to have these shelves filled with food. Bunch of food. Food. There it is. Yep. Fill it up. And then I think even some kitchen supplies I'm adding there. There we go. And I'm just changing them up, make them all different, so I'm not using the same thing over and over. Get some lunch boxes. And yeah, let's do some bottles. And lastly, some more food. There we go. Okay, so this next mod is pretty cool. It gives us back these cabinets, and they are kind of run down, which looks great. But the problem is once you place them, they act as like scrap pieces. So you see how it's yellow? You can't pick it up and move it. So if you need to, if it's not just right, you kind of have to scrap it and then replace it, which is fine, I guess, but it's just kind of annoying. Although I realize I think you can do this with the rug glitch. I can't remember now. I guess so. We'll both find out. Let's see. Find the rug. Not that one. I've done this 100 times. There you go. We found it. No worries. Okay, so let's place this spec on there. Let's get it lined up. 'Cause I might have to keep the rug. Yeah, that's fine. Looks good. Oh, yes, it works. Okay. So there's a solution to that problem. And there we go. Get it lined up on that wall. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to use another cabinet. Basically going to use it as a counter. And I know the rug is sticking out below it. Don't worry, I fix it. I promise. Get that. No, it's a little too... Let's push it back a little bit. Doesn't need that much room. There we go. Pretty cool. Okay, so now we're going to rug glitch a shop in there, or a bar and food area. Get that in. And food and drink. Here we go. And then we're just going to glitch that right in here because it's like the perfect height. Is that straight? No, definitely not straight. Okay. There we go. Not too bad. And so now, if I remove this that rug, it's going to sink into the ground, and it's going to piss me off. So what I'm just going to do is place another one of these exact same rugs on top of it, and you can't really tell. Once you kind of fill everything in, you won't really notice that those rugs are stacked on top of each other. And so we'll put in a refrigerator right here. Refrigerator. There we go. So these, like I said, are just like the Nuka-Cola machine, so you kind of have to finagle them in here. Annoyingly enough. Is that good? Yeah, it's pretty close. No, it's fine. So you can take the wall off and get a little bit closer, and then you can usually snap it back on. There we go. And so I didn't have to rug glitch that in. I just kind of took the wall off, got a little bit closer, then the wall is a little bit more forgiving, so that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to put a Nuka-Cola machine in the background, in this little corner over here. And I'm just kind of placing these bottles and stuff like that as I'm going along, just because it takes forever to go through these menus. So I'm just going to start placing things down as I am looking for the Nuka-Cola machine. This is pretty cool. Little coffee cafe dispenser. And there it is. Okay, put that always Nuka-Cola machine. Right there. I used that little floor mat right there just because you can't really see it, because if I removed it, again, it will sink through the ground. So the little floor mats kind of, I don't know, they look pretty cool to me. And then there is this community, here it is, the community notice board, which looks fucking great. And I think there's one more, there's one more sign that I absolutely love. Where is it at? Here it is. Calling out Preston. Love it. Okay. So now, let's put some more advertisements around here. Let's see. Jukebox. And then over here, I kind of have to go back to the other posters. Really doesn't matter which one. Just put one up there. Stop being picky. Just pick one. There we go. Looks good. Okay. And right here, these signs, I just love all of these signs that we have with this mod, because it really adds like character to this place, you know? Really kind of brings it to life. Yeah, let's put some off to the side. It's like a bar and grill one, I thought. There it is. Okay. And then some Jock McDaniels. Sounds delicious. And something above the fridge. Okay, first a no smoking sign, now something above the fridge. Nuka-Cola floats. And you see what I'm doing? I'm adding these signs into the parts of the wall that seem kind of bare. So you can go overboard on the signs, but as long as you use like a different sizes and different styles, you should be fine. You'll know whenever it starts getting a little too cluttered. So like I'm using advertisement signs and then little signs like these, and just kind of adding character and some personality to the place. I just need something above the, above that shelf over there. Just a little something. Something small. Not that, not that. There we go. Espresso. Okay. That looks good. And now we can start adding in little pieces around these shelves. And on top of the counters, like this oil lamp, maybe even a radio. Or a potted plant. See, I want to use that big one, but it's clipping through the wall over here. And that's always happens with these, so I can't really use them. I can only use, like, these smaller ones. And yeah, and give him a radio for him to listen to all day. Go. Get in there. And perfect. Okay. And now for a trash can in the corner. And that should be good as far as decorating here. And then, oh yeah, there's a little cash register that comes with one of these mods too, and it takes me a minute to find it, but I just remembered. I think it's in the cabinets. In the cabinets? Containers? Yes, in the containers. It's not a cabinet section. There it is. Okay. In there. Keep going. Keep going. You'll find it. There it is. Okay. And that looks perfect. Love it. So this next part I kind of cut out because I didn't want to show you. It's literally just me putting a table there, putting a table there, putting a chair there. I mean, it's the same kind of, it's just I'm kind of filling in this room. So I'm showing you now me decorating with the junk. So you can add in these trays and just put them on top, and like the TV trays, plates, stuff like that. And that just kind of adds a little bit more character to it. But I didn't show me decorating this just because I'm trying to keep the video short, and you didn't need to see me putting down a table. So in here, I'm going to do the same thing. Go into my junk, just going to drop all the, let's see, a typewriter, and I think it's just a toy car, just these two things. But these look great on the desk, and the toy cars are good for decorations. Just little things that really bring it to life. And the last little part here, we're going to decorate the outside. The most important part right here. There is a big sign that I want to use, some kind of pub. Where is it at? Where is it? There it is. The Broken Drum. You can't beat it. The puns. The way to my heart. Okay, so I'm going to put something You don't want to go too far or just do too much out here. Just enough. Might place. No, let's do like a more like a Minutemen style. Oh yeah, these are really cool. This little menu on the outside. Love it. So you're going to see me fuck around with this sign for a little bit, but essentially it's just a Minutemen sign right there and a light on the other side. Oh yeah, and I write open above the doorway because I didn't want to use the open sign again. It would look too repetitive, and I think it's a cool way to label the doorways on the inside and out. But my next video I will be making a contraptions video, but I won't do an overview just because there's already a million out there. But I will probably build something with the new items that we have, which I'm really looking forward to. But I really appreciate you guys coming back and sticking around for this entire video. I love getting feedback from you, your questions, comments, and suggestions. I read all of them and try to respond to all of them. So also, I'm always open to suggestions, so if there's anything you guys would like to see, just let me know and I will more than likely make it happen. But give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have a good one. Take care.
Farming's as honest work gets.